Chosen one, you are not here by coincidence. You are not watching this because of an algorithm, timing, or chance. You are here because heaven has scheduled this moment for you. This message has been released into your timeline on purpose at the exact hour your spirit is ready to receive it. When God appoints a moment, nothing in the natural or spiritual realm can delay it. As it is written in Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 3, the vision waits for an appointed time, and though it may seem slow, it will come right on time. Chosen one, that appointed time is now. You are standing at the edge of something sacred, an awakening, a shift, a divine transformation that could unfold today, tonight, or in the next breath you take. You have entered a Kairos moment, the kind of moment heaven prepares long before the mind understands it. This is why your spirit feels it before your eyes see it. Anointed one, the season is changing around you. What was delayed is aligning. What was blocked is opening. What was silent is beginning to speak. Just as Isaiah chapter 60 verse 22 declares, when the time is right, the Lord himself will make it happen. Prepare your heart. This is the moment heaven has been leading you toward. Chosen one, listen closely, because what I'm about to speak into your spirit is not coming from human wisdom. It is coming from a place I had to personally walk through, a place where God met me when everything around me felt impossible. I know what it feels like to stand at the edge of exhaustion, wondering if the pain will ever ease, wondering if the prayers you whispered in the dark are still heard. I've been there. And that's exactly why I know this truth with absolute certainty. When the enemy pushes hardest, it's because heaven is closest. You are not watching this by accident. You are watching because the hand of God has decided that this very moment, this exact point in time, is your turning point. Something in the spirit realm is shifting for you. Something that has been locked up, delayed, resisted, or fought against is finally beginning to move. And the pressure you've been feeling? Chosen one, that pressure is the sign that the blessing is about to break open. I need you to understand this. The enemy always attacks what carries value. He doesn't bother with empty vessels. He doesn't wage war against those with no divine assignment. He targets the ones carrying destiny, carrying calling, carrying purpose. And yes, you are one of them. If you weren't dangerous to darkness, you wouldn't be experiencing warfare at the level you've been facing. But hear me, and I say this as someone who has walked through storms that should have taken me out. You were not created to break. You were created to rise. Your spirit has been feeling the weight of a supernatural shift. Maybe you haven't had the words for it yet. Maybe it's shown up as restlessness, or sudden clarity, or a strange peace in the middle of chaos. Maybe doors have been closing without explanation. Maybe old connections have been falling away. Maybe God has been pulling you into isolation, quieting you, separating you. Chosen one, these are not signs of abandonment. They are signs of preparation. I learned this the hard way. Every time God was getting ready to elevate me, things first became uncomfortable. People left, opportunities dried up, plans fell apart. But now I see it clearly. God was removing what could not carry the weight of where He was taking me, and He is doing the same with you. You've been asking, why is this so hard? You've been wondering, why does it feel like I'm losing more than I'm gaining? You've whispered in quiet moments, God, are you still with me? Chosen one, not only is He with you, He is guiding you into a supernatural transfer, a divine exchange that will elevate your life far beyond what your natural strength could ever accomplish. This season you're stepping into is not ordinary. It is not random. It is a God-ordained shift. What is coming into your life is bigger than what left. But there is something else I need you to catch. Elevation requires endurance. Promises require pressure. Breakthrough requires breaking. And just like gold is refined in fire, so are the chosen ones refined in seasons that feel heavy, stretching, overwhelming. I have lived this. I have felt the crushing, I have felt the sharpening, and every time, without exception, the season that felt like it was destroying me ended up delivering me into something greater. You are standing in that same divine process. This is why discouragement has been whispering to you. This is why fatigue has been trying to wear you down. This is why your mind has felt scattered, your heart stretched, your spirit pulled. The enemy wants you to quit before you reach the moment heaven has appointed for you. But I'm here to remind you that the fire inside you is not fragile. It is God-given, and it is unextinguishable. The struggle you are facing right now is not the conclusion of your story. It is the middle chapter, the part where everything looks impossible right before God makes it undeniable. I think back to a moment in my own life when everything was collapsing. I didn't have answers. I didn't have strength. But what I did have was a tiny seed of faith. And do you know what I learned? A mustard seed is enough. Your smallest faith is still stronger than the largest opposition. The enemy wants to convince you that you're running out of time, but heaven says your appointed time is arriving. The vision is speaking. The promise is aligning. As it says in Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 3, the appointed time will surely come, and chosen one, sure. Your appointed time is closer than you think. Chosen one, as we step deeper into this message, I want you to lean in, not with your ears, but with your spirit. Because what I'm about to share isn't theory. It's not something I picked up from a book or borrowed from someone else's journey. This is truth carved into me through battles, tears, and breakthroughs I didn't see coming. And I believe you're in the middle of a similar divine construction right now. There is a reason your life has not been normal. There is a reason you've always felt different. There is a reason you carry a depth inside you that others don't always understand. Chosen one, divine assignment marks you. You can't hide it. Even when you try to blend in, heaven refuses to let you disappear. And that's because God has placed something inside you that must be brought out, shaped, lifted, and revealed in the right season. And you are stepping into that season now. You may not realize it yet, but heaven has been positioning you. Every delay taught you discipline. Every heartbreak taught you discernment. Every setback increased your spiritual sensitivity. You don't even see the full strength you've gained, but God does. Heaven has been writing a story inside you, one chapter at a time, and this is the chapter where things begin to unfold. I remember a time when I felt forgotten. Everything around me slowed down while everyone else seemed to be soaring. I watched others get promoted, others get blessed, others step into opportunities I was praying for. I felt stuck, like my life was paused on a screen I couldn't unfreeze. But now I understand, God wasn't withholding. He was aligning. He was teaching me timing, patience, and trust. Because what He was preparing me for required a stronger foundation. And chosen one, I need you to hear this with all your spirit. God is preparing you for something that requires a stronger you. This is not punishment, it is preparation. This is not rejection, it is redirection. This is not abandonment, it is alignment. Some of the battles you're fighting right now are not because you are weak, but because you are close. The enemy does not attack what has no future. He attacks what heaven is about to elevate, and your elevation is already stirring in the spiritual realm. Chosen one, you're closer than you think. Let me tell you something I learned in one of the hardest seasons of my life. Breakthrough is rarely loud at first. It starts quietly, it starts subtly, it starts with a feeling, a tug, a shift, a whisper that something is changing. Before the blessing arrives in the natural world, it first moves in the spiritual world. And if your spirit has been feeling unsettled, awakened, or stirred, that is a sign that heaven is moving things in your favor. You've been praying prayers that felt ignored. You've been sowing seeds that seemed to fall into dry ground. You've been doing right when wrong surrounded you. You've been faithful when nobody saw it. And now God is getting ready to reward you. There is a supernatural transfer being orchestrated, spiritually, emotionally, financially, relationally. Something is shifting hands. Something is being released. Something is being transferred from the realm of delay to the realm of manifestation. But here's the truth. Before God brings you into a new season, He prepares your spirit to handle it. That's why you've been feeling pressure, heaviness, spiritual warfare, or emotional exhaustion. Breakthrough always comes wrapped in resistance. Elevation always comes with agitation. Promotion always arrives disguised as a problem. I can't count how many times I felt like giving up right before something major broke open in my life. I would cry out, "God, I don't think I can take another step." And right at that moment, right when I thought I was at the end, something shifted, something opened, something changed. And I realized later that the breaking point is almost always the birthing point. Chosen one, your breaking point is becoming your birthing point. The very areas where you've been experiencing the most warfare are the exact areas God is preparing to bless. The enemy fights your mind because clarity is coming. He fights your finances because provision is coming. He fights your relationships because alignment is coming. He fights your sleep because revelation is coming. The more intense the battle, the closer the blessing. And I truly know, that deep inside you, there is a quiet strength rising. You might feel tired, but you are not defeated. You might feel stretched, but you are not breaking. You might feel pressure, but pressure is what produces the oil. And the anointing on your life is increasing even now. Chosen one, your story is shifting. Your atmosphere is shifting. Your spirit is shifting. You are stepping into a divine moment where God is not just changing your situation. He is changing you for the situation He has prepared. Chosen one, as we move deeper into this prophetic message, I want you to understand something that took me years and a lot of pain to finally grasp. Breakthrough does not begin the moment something changes around you. Breakthrough begins the moment something changes within you. It begins when your spirit refuses to bow to the pressure, when your hope refuses to die in the dark, and when your faith decides to rise even when everything in the natural looks impossible. And you and I did well, yes, you, chosen one, are in that exact place right now. There is a reason your spirit feels both weary and awakened. There is a reason your heart feels both stretched and strengthened. It's because God has been shaping you internally before revealing what He's preparing externally. Internal transformation always precedes external elevation. And I want to share something personal here because I believe it will resonate with you. There was a season in my life where I kept asking God to change my circumstances. Every day I prayed, "God, fix this. God, open that door. God, remove this burden." But nothing changed. All I saw was more resistance, more delay, more uncertainty. Then one night, in the middle of my frustration, I heard a quiet whisper in my spirit. "I'm not changing the situation yet because I'm using the situation to change you." That moment broke me, but it also remade me, because that's when I finally realized that I wasn't being punished. I was being prepared. I wasn't being delayed. I was being developed. And the moment I surrendered to the process instead of fighting it, something in my spirit shifted. My faith deepened. My discernment expanded. My sense of purpose sharpened. And slowly the doors that once refused to open, opened on their own. Chosen one, God is doing the same work inside you right now. You may feel like your prayers are hitting a ceiling, but I promise you, they are not. Heaven has heard every whisper, every cry, every moment where your voice trembled, but you prayed anyway. Every time you showed up, even when you felt empty, is counted. Every time you forgave when you wanted to fight is recorded. Every time you trusted when you couldn't trace God's hand is honored. You have no idea how close you are to divine intervention. Heaven has a schedule, and you are approaching your appointed hour. Something in the unseen realm is gathering, aligning, preparing to break forth. You might not see movement yet, but that's because God often works in silence before He reveals in power. Have you noticed how certain situations have suddenly fallen apart? How certain people have drifted away? How certain paths have closed without explanation? Chosen one, that's not the enemy. That's alignment. That's protection. That's redirection. God is removing what cannot go where you're going next. Not everyone can handle the weight of your calling. Not every environment can contain the blessing that's on its way to you. Not every relationship is built to handle supernatural acceleration. Your isolation has not been loneliness, it's been consecration. Your discomfort has not been random, it's been refinement. Your disappointment has not been defeat, it's been divine preservation. Let me share another truth I had to learn the long way. God's preparation often feels like separation. When He is elevating you, He separates you from distractions, from illusions, from false alignments, from emotional noise. And while it feels like loss, it's actually divine clearing. You are being positioned for a supernatural financial shift, a spiritual breakthrough, a divine promotion. But God will never place you in a blessing you are not spiritually ready to manage. That's why this season has been heavy. That's why your emotions have been sensitive. That's why your spirit has been alert. You are being shaped for stability in your next season. Chosen one, I need you to breathe this truth in deeply. Your life is not behind schedule. You are on heaven's timeline. Even when you feel late, God is on time. Even when you see nothing, God sees everything. Even when you feel small, the calling on your life remains enormous. There is a moment, a divine tipping point, that every chosen one reaches. A moment where the weight of preparation shifts into the weight of glory. A moment where the pressing becomes the pouring. A moment where the waiting becomes the receiving. And you are standing on the threshold of that moment. I've seen this pattern so many times in my own life. Right before the breakthrough arrives, the battle intensifies. Right before the blessing manifests, the mind is attacked. Right before the door opens, discouragement rises like a wave. And do you know why? Because the enemy can sense the shift before you see it. The fact that your warfare has increased is your confirmation that your blessing is imminent. Chosen one, don't let the pressure convince you to quit. Let it convince you that you're close. Your story is not stuck. Your miracle is not delayed. Your purpose is not lost. Your prayers are not ignored. You are transitioning. You are transforming. You are being lifted. Chosen one, as we go even deeper into this message, I need you to truly understand what has been happening around you and within you. Because nothing, absolutely nothing, in this season has been random. The pressure, the isolation, the inner stretching, the sudden endings, the unexpected shifts, the heaviness you can't explain, the silence from heaven that made you question everything. All of it has been part of a divine pattern, a sacred sequence heaven uses whenever a chosen one is being prepared for elevation. I know this pattern because I lived it. There was a season in my life when things that once looked stable suddenly collapsed. People I trusted slowly drifted out of my life. Opportunities I worked for dissolved overnight. Plans that once felt solid crumbled into dust. And for a long time, I was convinced I had done something wrong, that somehow God was disappointed in me, or that I had missed my moment. But over time, with prayer, stillness, and hard honesty, I began to realize the truth. God was not breaking me. He was breaking the limitations around me. And chosen one, He is doing the exact same thing in your life right now, even if you can't fully see it yet. When God prepares you for a supernatural shift, He dismantles everything that cannot support where He is taking you. That's why certain relationships had to end. Not because they were bad, but because they could not grow with you. That's why certain doors refused to open, not because you were unqualified, but because the blessing behind them was not big enough for the calling on your life. That's why certain seasons suddenly felt too tight, too small, too heavy, because your spirit outgrew the space long before your mind understood the shift. What felt like rejection was actually protection. What felt like loss was actually clearing. What felt like delay was actually divine timing unfolding in silence. Chosen one, let this truth settle deep. Separation is a sign of elevation. Before God elevates a person, He separates them. Before He multiplies them, He prunes them. Before He shifts them, He shakes them. Before He promotes them, He prepares them. And preparation rarely feels pleasant. It often feels like everything is drifting, breaking, shifting, or falling apart. But it's not falling apart, it's falling into alignment. I remember one night crying out to God because the pressure felt unbearable. It felt like my life was being squeezed from every direction. And in that moment, God showed me a powerful image, the image of a woman in labor, shaking under the weight of the final contractions. And then I heard the whisper, "The pressure is not punishment, it is birth." And suddenly everything made sense. Before breakthrough arrives, pressure intensifies. Before miracles manifest, contractions begin. Before a new season is born, the old one must stretch to its absolute limits. And that is exactly where you are, chosen one, in your final push. This is why your emotions have been heightened, while your patience has worn thin, while your mind has been wrestling thoughts you've never fought before, while your sleep has been interrupted, while your spirit has been unusually sensitive. These are not signs you are failing. These are signs you are transitioning. Heaven is preparing to release something monumental into your life. A supernatural financial shift, a divine elevation, a spiritual awakening, a long-awaited breakthrough, a restoration that your heart has prayed for silently. But before God pours new oil, He prepares the vessel. That is why He has been isolating you, not to punish you, but to protect you from noise, distraction, and wrong influences. That is why He has been quieting your environment, because He needs your spirit tuned to His frequency. That is why He has been pruning relationships, because not everyone can walk with you into the next level. That is why He has been pressing you, because pressure produces oil, and the anointing on your life is increasing even now. Your season of separation has been sacred preparation, and I know it hurts. I know it feels lonely. I know it feels confusing. But everything God is stripping away is making space for what He is about to deliver. Everything He is removing is clearing the path. Everything He is shifting is aligning your destiny with divine timing. This is not the breaking of your life. This is the making of your life. This is not the ending. This is the becoming. You are in the final stages before a supernatural shift, and what is coming will be undeniable, unstoppable, and absolutely divine. Chosen one, as we continue, I want you to open your heart even wider, because what I'm about to reveal is not just encouragement, it is alignment. It is revelation. It is confirmation for the very things your spirit has been sensing, but your mind hasn't yet fully understood. You see, when God begins preparing a chosen one for a supernatural shift, He doesn't just change what's around them, He changes what's inside them. And that is exactly what has been happening to you. There has been a quiet transformation unfolding within your spirit, so subtle at times that you almost missed it, yet so powerful that nothing in your life will ever be the same because of it. You've been feeling it, a strange restlessness that won't let you settle in places you once tolerated, a divine dissatisfaction pushing you away from the old, a heightened sensitivity in your spirit, a deepening awareness of God's presence, a stronger inner voice pulling you forward even when you don't know where forward is. These are not random feelings. They are signs that God is reconfiguring your spiritual identity for the next phase of your destiny. I remember walking through a season where God began shifting my identity internally, long before anything shifted externally. I didn't realize the magnitude of it at the time. I just felt different, more awake, more aware, more spiritually alert. I noticed things I once overlooked. I discerned motives I once ignored. I sensed spiritual warfare before it manifested. And slowly I learned that when God begins awakening the spirit, He first disturbs what once felt comfortable. Chosen one, God has been disturbing everything inside you that is too small for where He's taking you. You've been feeling the stretching because your calling is expanding. You've been feeling the stirring because your next season is approaching. You've been feeling the heaviness because something heavy with purpose is growing inside you. And this internal transformation has not been easy. You've had days where you felt like you were walking in fog, days where you questioned your own thoughts, days where your emotions swung between hope and weariness, days where you felt a war inside your mind, the old version of you trying to pull you back while heaven was calling you forward. This war inside you has been a sign that the old you is dying and the anointed you is emerging. The you who played small is dying. The you who carried shame is dying. The you who accepted less than what God destined is dying. The you who survived instead of thrived is dying. And the you who was chosen, appointed, empowered, and set apart, that version is rising. You may not realize it, but you've already changed. You've already shifted. You've already crossed spiritual thresholds you can't go back from. You don't pray like you used to. You don't trust like you used to. You don't see the world like you used to. You don't desire the same things you used to. And all of this is evidence of spiritual maturity, evidence that you've been walking through a silent promotion from heaven. Silent promotions always show up before visible ones. Your spirit upgrades before your circumstances catch up. Your discernment sharpens before your blessings manifest. Your identity strengthens before your opportunities open. And chosen one, that's why you felt the tension. You've been growing beyond environments that no longer match your calling. You've been evolving away from people who can't understand your process. You've been shedding layers you once needed to survive, but no longer need to thrive. This is the metamorphosis stage, the cocoon stage, where everything seems still, but transformation is happening at a molecular level. The enemy has tried to convince you that you're stuck, but you are not stuck. You are incubating. God has been hiding you so he can reveal you at the right time. That's why opportunities paused. That's why doors closed. That's why connections faded. God has not been blocking you. He has been protecting the version of you he is forming. And here is something I learned through experience. Before God releases a chosen one publicly, he refines them privately. The private refining is where character grows. The private refining is where faith deepens. The private refining is where dependency on God becomes unshakable. The private refining is where you learn to hear his voice without noise. And chosen one, whether you realized it or not, that is the season you've been walking through. A divine refining, a spiritual realigning, a complete identity restructuring guided by heaven itself. You are emerging with clearer vision, sharper discernment, deeper faith, and stronger spiritual authority. And the moment God finishes the internal work, the external shift will begin. And when it begins, it will not be small. It will not be slow. It will not be ordinary. It will be supernatural acceleration. It will be sudden and undeniable. The kind of shift where people who doubted you won't even recognize you. The kind of shift where everything that made you cry will become the reason you rise. The kind of shift that confirms, this has been God's plan all along. Chosen one, as we step into this next part, I want you to truly grasp the magnitude of what heaven is preparing to release into your life. Because whether you feel it or not, whether you see it or not, whether you can make sense of it or not, you are standing in the early edges of a supernatural shift that has been years in the making. Everything you've walked through, everything that threatened to break you, everything that stretched you beyond what you thought you could bear, has been shaping you into someone who can carry what is coming next. There is no wasted pain in the life of a chosen one, no wasted tear, no wasted season, no wasted waiting. God uses it all, but he does not just use it, he multiplies it. And right now, heaven is aligning a multiplication in your life that will touch areas you thought were permanently barren. You've walked through seasons of dryness, of lack, of emotional drought, of spiritual silence, and you wondered if those barren places would ever bloom again. But chosen one, hear me clearly. God specializes in resurrection. He revives what seems dead. He restores what seems ruined. He rebuilds what seems shattered. And he is about to breathe life into places of your life you thought would never recover. I've lived this. I've watched God resurrect dreams I buried. I've seen him restore relationships I thought were lost forever. I've seen him turn financial droughts into supernatural provision in ways I could never have orchestrated. And I know he is about to do the same for you. But before restoration comes, God often reveals what needs to be released. Before increase comes, he exposes what can't remain. Before acceleration begins, he shows you what has been slowing you down spiritually, emotionally, mentally, or financially. And that's why this past season felt so heavy. Because God was revealing the unnecessary weight in your life, the distractions disguised as friendships, the habits disguised as comfort, the mindsets disguised as just who I am, the opportunities disguised as blessings that would have derailed your destiny. God has been stripping away everything that does not match your future. That's why it's been painful. Not because God was removing what was good for you, but because he was removing what was familiar to you. There is a huge difference. The familiar is often comfortable, but not divine. The familiar often feels safe, but prevents growth. The familiar feels predictable, but limits destiny. And so God has been slowly detaching you from the familiar so he can position you for the extraordinary. Chosen one, the strangeness you've been feeling in your spirit, That sense that something is coming, something is shifting, something is awakening, is not imagination. It is spiritual signaling. Heaven always sends signals before manifestation. The restlessness, the sudden clarity, the emotional waves, the heightened intuition, the unusual dreams, the urge to separate from certain people, the growing hunger for spiritual depth. These are not coincidences. These are confirmations. You are being tuned to heaven's frequency because a divine message, a divine opportunity, a divine transfer is about to arrive. I learned this pattern deeply in my own walk. Whenever God was getting ready to change my external world, He first elevated my internal world. My discernment sharpened, my desires shifted, my inner voice strengthened, my priorities rearranged. And suddenly, the things I once tolerated felt too small, too shallow, too draining. That was the sign that God was raising my spiritual standard. And that is exactly what is happening to you. Your standards are rising, your spirit is maturing, your faith is deepening, your awareness is heightening, because God is preparing you to steward something bigger than anything you've ever carried. And I need you to take this in. The blessing coming to you will require a wiser you, a stronger you, a healed you, a purified you. And heaven has been shaping that version of you in silence. You might feel like nothing is happening, but spiritually everything is happening. Chains are breaking, cycles are ending, old identities are dissolving. New strength is rising, hidden gifts are activating, purpose is sharpening. You are being spiritually rewired for a season of supernatural acceleration. And hear this with your whole heart. The breakthrough coming your way will not be gradual. It will be sudden. Long seasons of delay are often followed by sudden shifts. Long periods of waiting often precede sudden doors. Long nights of crying often precede sudden restoration. And long seasons of silence often precede sudden divine instruction. Chosen one, get ready for sudden. Suddenly your finances shift. Suddenly the opportunity arrives. Suddenly the right person enters your life. Suddenly the healing manifests. Suddenly clarity comes. Suddenly the weight lifts. Suddenly everything that once felt stuck begins to move. And when it moves, it will move fast. Faster than you can comprehend. Faster than you can prepare for. Faster than what feels logical. Because it won't be natural. It will be supernatural. And you will know without a doubt, this was God's hand and God's timing. Chosen one, as we move into this next divine unveiling, I want you to truly understand a profound truth that many never grasp. When heaven is preparing to elevate you, the first shift never happens in your circumstances. It happens in your identity. And I need you to hear this clearly. Your identity has been shifting. Even if your environment has not yet changed, you have changed. You no longer think the way you used to think. You no longer desire what you used to desire. You no longer tolerate what you used to tolerate. You no longer fit in the places you once forced yourself to belong. This discomfort you feel isn't confusion, it's confirmation. Confirmation that your spirit has grown beyond your old patterns, old cycles, old assignments, and old connections. When God elevates you, He begins disconnecting you from every version of yourself that was attached to survival instead of destiny. And that's why you've been feeling the tension between who you used to be and who you are becoming. You've been shedding an identity that can no longer carry the weight of your calling. I've experienced this personally. There was a season when I felt like two different people living in the same body, the old me, shaped by wounds, fears, and limitations, and the emerging me, shaped by revelation, healing, and divine confidence. That internal war was exhausting, but now I understand it was spiritual transition. And chosen one, you are in that same transition. Your spirit is rising while your old self is resisting. Your calling is expanding while your comfort zone is shrinking. Your anointing is increasing while your old insecurities are trying to hold on. This tug of war inside you is not a sign of failure. It is evidence of transformation. Something inside you refuses to go backward. Something inside you refuses to settle. Something inside you refuses to dim its light. That is the mark of a chosen one. You can't return to what no longer aligns with your destiny. Even when you try, it doesn't feel right anymore. Even when you attempt to shrink yourself to make others comfortable, your spirit pushes you back into authenticity. Even when you try to hide your calling, life keeps forcing you into situations that require you to use your gifts. You are marked, you are called, you are chosen, and heaven will not let you return to a version of yourself that wasn't born for where you're going. But here's something even deeper. When God elevates identity, He also elevates awareness. You've been noticing things more clearly. You've been discerning motives faster. You've been detecting spiritual warfare earlier. You've been seeing signs, patterns, and divine alignments in a way you didn't before. This is spiritual upgrading, a sharpening that happens when heaven prepares you for responsibility, influence, and authority. And yes, with that awareness comes a kind of loneliness. Not because you are alone, but because you are outgrowing conversations, outgrowing environments, outgrowing people who are not ready to grow with you. Loneliness is often a sign that you've stepped ahead spiritually. But what you call loneliness, heaven calls consecration. You are not being isolated, you are being set apart. The shift happening inside you is sacred. You are not who you used to be, and you will never be that person again. And this next part is important. Because your identity has changed, your destiny is about to open. There are doors that did not open before because the person you were back then wasn't ready to walk through them. There are opportunities you couldn't access because they required a stronger, wiser, more spiritually grounded version of you. But now you are becoming that version. Now you are aligning with the destiny heaven wrote for you. Now the timing is catching up with the transformation. You are stepping into a season where what once resisted you will begin to recognize you, because you now carry the identity that matches the blessing. This is the spiritual law of divine congruence. Destiny responds to identity. When you become the person God designed you to be, the life God designed for you begins moving toward you. And chosen one, you have reached that threshold. You are not waiting on the blessing. The blessing has been waiting on the real you to emerge. You are not waiting on the breakthrough. The breakthrough has been waiting on your alignment. You are not waiting on divine timing. Divine timing has been waiting on your spiritual readiness. And now, in this very season, the readiness has arrived. You have stepped into the identity that can carry the destiny. You have shed the old versions that once held you back. You have embraced the inner transformation required for outer elevation. And because of that, your next chapter will not look anything like your last. Everything is about to shift. Everything is about to align. Everything is about to accelerate. Not because you chased it, but because you finally became the version of yourself heaven always intended. Chosen one, as we step into this final movement of your prophetic journey, I want you to understand a truth so powerful that if you grasp it, everything in your life from this moment forward will shift. Your atmosphere is about to obey your identity. You've spent years fighting storms, resisting attacks, breaking cycles, healing from wounds, and overcoming battles that would have destroyed anyone else. But now heaven is shifting you into a place where the storm doesn't move you. You move the storm. The warfare you've been experiencing was never meant to weaken you. It was training your discernment, training your spiritual authority, training your inner voice, training your ability to stand even when everything inside you wanted to collapse. And now, because of all that training, something within you has become unshakable. You may not fully see your strength yet, but hell sees it. That's why the attacks increased. That's why the pressure intensified. That's why discouragement tried to wrap itself around your thoughts. The enemy recognized the version of you that was emerging before you even did. I know this pattern intimately. In one of the strongest spiritual transitions of my life, I remember feeling more pressure than ever before. It felt like I was being stretched to my breaking point. But now I understand. The attack wasn't because I was weak. It was because I was becoming powerful. The same is true for you, chosen one. You've mistaken spiritual transformation for spiritual warfare. What felt like your life falling apart was actually your authority being activated. What felt like confusion was actually clarity developing. What felt like resistance was actually refinement. You have been going through a divine strengthening, and now you are crossing the threshold into a season where your words will carry weight, Your presence will shift atmospheres, your decisions will break generational patterns, and your obedience will unlock blessings that have been stored up for years. And here is something you must understand at the deepest level. The realm around you responds to the realm within you. Because you've changed internally, everything externally is about to change with you. Doors that were locked will open. Battles that felt overwhelming will dissolve. Cycles that repeated for years will break. Opportunities that once ignored you will suddenly seek you. Environments that couldn't hold you will release you, and people who never valued you will no longer have access to you. This is not arrogance. This is divine repositioning. There is a spiritual law at work. When identity aligns with destiny, restriction breaks and acceleration begins. You are entering a season of acceleration, chosen one. Not slow growth, not incremental progress, not gradual improvement. Acceleration. Acceleration that doesn't make sense. Acceleration that interrupts patterns. Acceleration that overrides past limitations. Acceleration that bypasses timelines. Acceleration that can only be explained by divine intervention. I've lived moments where everything changed in a single week. Opportunities appeared from nowhere. Provision came unexpectedly. Relationships aligned suddenly. Direction became clear instantly. And I believe with all my spirit that you are stepping into that very same momentum. But acceleration requires something important, a willingness to release what is beneath you. You cannot run while dragging the past. You cannot elevate while holding on to people who fear heights. You cannot expand while clinging to what was only meant for your last season. And even though you've lost much, even though you've grieved silently, even though you've carried more than most people know, everything that left your life was part of the pruning God used to prepare you for abundance. What is ahead of you is far greater than what is behind you, and your spirit knows it. This is why you've been feeling a deep inner pull into something greater, something higher, something unfamiliar but holy. That pull is destiny calling. That pull is your future self drawing you forward. That pull is heaven signaling that it's time to step into what was written about you long before you were born. And let me speak this with prophetic clarity. You are entering a season of supernatural transfer. Transfer of strength after years of weakness. Transfer of clarity after seasons of confusion. Transfer of resources after seasons of lack. Transfer of opportunity after years of closed doors. Transfer of honor after years of being overlooked. Transfer of joy after years of carrying silent battles. Everything the enemy tried to steal is coming back multiplied. Everything you lost is returning with increase. Everything you suffered is about to be redeemed. You are not stepping into a blessing, you are stepping into a reversal. A divine reversal where the last becomes first, where the overlooked becomes favored, where the broken becomes restored, where the survivor becomes the conqueror. Chosen one, this is the season where the story shifts. This is where everything changes. This is where the promise catches up to the preparation. This is where destiny becomes reality. And nothing, absolutely nothing, can stop what heaven has ordained for you. Chosen one, as we come to the end of this message, I want you to hold this truth deep in your spirit. You are not here by accident. Heaven has orchestrated this exact moment for you. You are standing in your Kairos hour, the divinely appointed time where what was hidden begins to be revealed and what was delayed begins to move toward you. Anointed one, the supernatural transfer has already begun. The atmosphere around you is responding to the faith within you. The doors you could not open in your own strength are opening by the hand of God. The heaviness you carried is lifting. The clarity you've longed for is rising. Heaven is working on your behalf even now. So walk forward with confidence. Walk forward with gratitude. Walk forward knowing that the same God who called you will sustain you, provide for you, and finish what He started in you. Stay aligned, stay surrendered, stay expectant. If this word bears witness in your spirit, comment Amen as your declaration of faith. Share this with another chosen one, and if you feel led, subscribe and remain connected. Go forth, chosen one, favored, anointed, prepared for what's next.